Zoom. Hello and welcome to week 18, the final week of my marathon training block as I get ready for the Long Beach Marathon, which is now officially 1 week away. Now for today's run, I'll be doing a 90-minute easy run where I'll be using most of the gear that I'll be using for the race as kind of a gear check to make sure everything is in line and ready to go. After that run, we'll come back and I'll just talk about the gear that I will be using for the race in 1 week. So why don't we go ahead and jump into that run. And we're back from the run. I did complete the 90-minute easy run where I averaged 9 minutes 20 seconds per mile, and I completed a total of 9.65 miles for today's run. So with that run done, let's look into the gear that I'll be using for the Long Beach Marathon in 1 week. We'll start from the top and we'll go to the bottom. So to start off, we'll talk about headwear. Now, a big priority for me for my headwear when I do run is something that is going to keep the sweat out of my face. I do sweat a lot when I run, so I've learned that when I don't have something on my head, it tends to just kind of not be a good time when that sweat is all over my face. So I have two options that I'm considering. Now the first option I would go for is usually a running hat, and here I have an example of one of my favorites. It is a Oakland Running Co branded running hat made with a Boco gear. So it is very, very nice, very lightweight, a lot of ventilation if you can kind of see through it, a lot of holes there on the back, and some nice touches from my time up there in Oakland. So as you see here on the bottom of the brim of the hat, you've got a little map of Oakland with Lake Merritt there in the middle. And overall, this is definitely something that I would go for. I use it on most of my runs. I've also got a bunch of other running hats, but this is usually my go-to, very comfortable and just kind of keeps the sweat out of my face as well as the sun. So this is definitely one of the things that I'm considering. And the second option that I might go for during the race is a sweatband. Now the reason I would go for a sweatband over a running hat is if I feel exceptionally hot that day. It is going to be early in the morning, so I don't expect heat to be too big of an issue, but I have found that I do really like having my head exposed and kind of feeling the wind through my hair. So this is the other option. It is just one of those generic running sweatbands, headbands from Amazon. I'll put a link to this and pretty much all the other equipment that I'll be mentioning in today's video down in the description below. But yeah, I got a 3-pack of these generic sweatbands and they work quite well in keeping the sweat out of my face. So those are the two options that I'm considering. Still don't know exactly which one I'll be going with, but I've tried both on long runs and it'll all just come down to how I feel that morning. So that does it for headwear. And so now moving on from headwear, one step down, we'll look at eyewear. So in general, I do run with running sunglasses. It keeps, things out of my eyes, keeps them nice and clear, and as well as the protection from UV rays and all that. So I don't go really too fancy. Here's the pair that I will be using. This is another thing I picked up off of Amazon. I believe it's called Rockbros, but it is just one of those kind of cheaper, kind of basic running sunglasses. It is polarized. It just kind of helps provide that glare reduction when you're out on your run. And overall, yeah, I definitely do recommend wearing sunglasses when you run. It just helps protect your eyes and kind of keeps your vision clear. especially here running in Southern California, where the sun is pretty much out all the time. So, yep, these are what I'll be using for my marathon race. And now I'll be moving down from eyewear to what I'll be wearing for my top, and that is this right here. This is the Nike Dri-FIT Advanced TechKnit Ultra running tank top, as officially on their website, but I just call it my Nike running tank top. It is got, the Dri-FIT material, super soft and breathable and lightweight. As you can see here, it's just your classic kind of running top. Overall, it's pretty good, no nonsense kind of running tank. It breathes well. It's super comfortable. It's much softer than some of the other singlets that I've used in the past. So I did pick this up at the Nike factory store a little ways down the street. So I did get it for a really good price. And yeah, it's just really comfortable. So that's why I decided to go with it. Very breathable, wicks sweat very nicely. So yeah, I'll be wearing this Nike running top. All right, and moving on down from my top, we'll now look at what bottoms I'll be using, and that'll be these Janji AFO 2-in-1 7-inch running shorts. All of these things are a bit of a mouthful to name, but yeah, went with this one. Again, really comfortable. I did go with the 2-in-1, and one of the big reasons why it's because it's got this kind of inside compression short, but the compression short itself has kind of this nice pocket that kind of holds things very tightly to your thigh. So that's where I'll actually be using my phone, and it's got a bunch of pockets also up here within the waistband for things like keys and gels. So overall, I won't be needing to wear any kind of race belt or flip belt or anything. It'll all pretty much just be on these shorts. So that's probably the biggest reason that I chose to go with this one. And yeah, the Janji AFO 2-in-1 7-inch running short. All right, moving on down further, we'll be going closer to my feet now. And what we'll be looking at next are the socks that I'll be using. I will be using these Balega Enduro quarter-length socks. Very comfortable, super soft. Got a nice amount of cushion on it too, which is what I like in my socks, but still relatively breathable. Yeah, Balega, pretty well known amongst the running community. I don't really have too much else to say about it other than just being super comfortable on my long runs. So this is what I'll be going with. Oh, and the quarter length is what I'll be using because of my shoe choice, which will be going up into next. And it's probably no surprise if you've been watching the channel, but I will be wearing the Nike Alphafly version 1s. I did do a video talking a little more in detail about how I felt about these shoes specifically, and I'll link that video somewhere around. But yeah, looking forward to using these in a race environment. I did do about 60-ish, 63-ish miles in these already, just to make sure that I'm used to them. I know how to handle, the load, the cushion, the high stack height, just making sure that everything is in line for when I come and use these on race day. Again, very excited to use these. And as I mentioned, I did go with a quarter cut sock for my sock choice. And the reason why is because of this kind of heel right here. I did notice when I was using no-show socks that this would kind of rub up against my Achilles area. And it did create a little blister when I first had them or first tried them out. So went with a quarter sock, had no issues since. So yeah, this will be my shoe choice going into the Long Beach Marathon, the Nike Alphafly version 1 in the Ekiden colorway. Zoom. And that about wraps it up for the gear that I'll be using for the Long Beach Marathon. I'm so excited, it's 1 week away. This training block has been pretty good. I did have some challenges here and there, but overall I feel like I'm in a very good spot physically. I'm ready to perform my best. The next time you see me, I'll be at the Long Beach Marathon's Expo, ready to pick up my bib and all the goodies that come along with the race. So stay tuned for that. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions or comments. And make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with my running journey and especially next week's Long Beach Marathon. All right, thank you again, and have a good one, y'all. See ya.
Damn, son.